Hello, and welcome back to the Life Friendly Business podcast. I'm Erin Thomas Wong, the Life Friendly Business Mentor, and I'm on a mission to help women realize they are not failing at business. They're simply following a model that doesn't fit their real lives. I help female solopreneurs take a capacity first approach so they can grow their business without sacrificing the very life they're building it for. And in this season, I'm sharing a different way to think about your entire business. Today, I want to talk to you about visibility because visibility is one of the biggest sticking points for so many women that I speak to, not just practically, but emotionally too. And the irony is that so many of the women that I speak to are brilliant at what they do. They genuinely help people. They have years of experience and expertise. But if people don't know they exist, they can't benefit from that expertise. Visibility isn't about feeding your ego. It's about making it easier for people you can help to find you. For a lot of women, visibility feels overwhelming, pressured, noisy, performative, exhausting. And so they either avoid it completely, overthink everything, disappear for weeks on end, or force themselves into a version of marketing that feels completely unsustainable. A big part of the problem is the way visibility is often taught online. There is so much messaging around posting constantly, being everywhere, creating endless content, chasing algorithms, becoming an expert in every platform, doing more, more, and more. And for women already juggling a lot in life, that quickly becomes exhausting. But visibility does not have to mean burnout. And it definitely does not have to mean being online all day. A life friendly approach to visibility is about being intentional. Not constant, yes, consistent, but not constantly online. And visibility is not just social media either. It's your messaging across every touch point in your business. It's your website, your emails, your podcast, your networking, your conversations, the way you talk about what you do, the way that you show up in real life. Visibility is about really helping people to understand who you are, what you do, and why it matters. And I talk about this a lot because so many women say to me, I don't really need social media because my business grows through word of mouth. And yes, word of mouth is amazing. It's one of the most powerful ways to get clients. But what happens when someone hears about you? The first thing they're going to do is look you up online. They're going to look at your Instagram or your website, or they're going to search for you on Facebook or LinkedIn. They want to get a feel for who you are. And if everything looks abandoned or like a ghost town, that affects trust because people want reassurance that you are active, engaged, and still doing the work. And this is where understanding the customer journey becomes really important. Most people do not discover you and buy immediately. They usually move through stages. They hear about you, look you up, consume some of your content, maybe try something for free. You build trust with them over time. And then eventually, hopefully, they decide to buy. I actually use myself as a case study inside the Visibility Reset program. And I ask people, how did you first hear about me? And the majority had moved through some kind of journey. They had heard about me somewhere, maybe had a referral. They'd come to my open house or attended a Reignite Your Business Mojo challenge. They'd listened to my podcast. They downloaded a freebie, all of these things before eventually buying from me. It was such a beautiful example of a customer journey in action. And on the call, it was a really powerful moment to see that click for people because they suddenly realized visibility is not just about posting random content. It's about intentionally guiding people towards a sale. It's sending them on a journey, helping them to understand what you do, to connect with your message, to trust your approach. and see themselves in your world. One of the things that struck me most during the visibility reset wasn't how much content people created, it was how their thinking changed. Women who started the program feeling overwhelmed by visibility finished with more clarity, more confidence, and a much better understanding of how visibility actually works. One participant spent a focused day working through the materials and came away with 5 clear content pillars, a whole bank of more content ideas, and a much clearer plan for what to post. Instead of sitting down every week wondering what to say, she now has a system that she can build on. Another woman posted her first Instagram video in nearly a year. It took her 16 takes, 16, but she still did it. She still kept going, and the response has been incredible. People she hasn't heard from in years have got back in touch, and it's still being pushed out weeks later. And I think that's because it's important to remember that confidence grows through action, not before it. So many women think they need to wait until they feel confident before they show up, but often the confidence comes because they showed up. Another participant said something that really stayed with me. She said at the end of the program that visibility now feels like a huge relief. A weight has been lifted, not because she's posting more, but because she finally understands what she wants to be known for, what she wants to talk about, and how to stop reinventing the wheel every single week. And that shift from pressure and overwhelm into clarity and intention is enormous. Another woman realized that she could take her blogs that she wrote years ago, pull out one paragraph, tweak it slightly, and turn it into fresh LinkedIn content. And suddenly, visibility stopped feeling like this endless content treadmill and started feeling much more manageable. Because one of the biggest mistakes I see people making is believing that they need to constantly create more, when often the answer is using what already exists more intentionally and more efficiently. You already have more content than you think. You've probably got years of blog posts, emails, client conversations, frequently asked questions, stories about your clients, case studies, lessons learned. The issue isn't about a lack of content, it's having no system to capture it and reuse it. And that's exactly why creating a bank of evergreen content is one of the most life friendly visibility strategies I teach. Because if you are creating posts from scratch every single time and not saving that content anywhere, you are making life much harder for yourself than it needs to be. Whether you're scheduling your own content or working with a VA, having a content bank is essential. One participant actually described visibility as feeling lighter once she had a central place to store her ideas. Instead of relying on inspiration to strike at exactly the right moment, she was building a resource she could return to again and again. Because otherwise, you stay stuck in constant reactive mode, always thinking, what am I going to post today? And that drains so much mental energy. Whereas when you build a bank of useful evergreen content, you create assets that you can return to, reuse, repurpose, and adapt. And that makes visibility feel so much lighter and more sustainable. A life friendly approach to visibility asks, what's actually sustainable for me? What platform makes sense for me? What rhythm can I realistically maintain? What kind of visibility actually aligns with my strengths and the things I want to do? Because consistency does not come from pressure. It comes from creating a rhythm that fits your real life. That might mean focusing on one platform, repurposing your content, creating repeatable visibility assets, using email marketing alongside your social media, building simple, nurtured journeys, having one clear next step into your world. You do not need to be visible in the same way as everyone else. You do not need to dance on reels. You do not need to share your entire life online. You just need to help the right people find you, understand you, and trust you. Visibility is also a form of self leadership because it's choosing to be seen, choosing to back yourself, choosing to share your message even when it feels uncomfortable. So I want you to think about this. Is your current approach to visibility helping people move towards working with you? Or are you just posting without a clear journey or intention? The real transformation isn't posting more content. It's getting to the point where you think, I know what I want to say, and I have a system in place to help me say it, because visibility becomes so much easier when you understand the customer journey, you know what you want to be known for, and you stop trying to be everywhere at once and create a sustainable rhythm that actually works for your life. That's when visibility stops feeling exhausting and starts feeling intentional. And if you're listening to this thinking, I know visibility matters, but I have no idea what my plan should be, my head is too busy, then the life friendly business clarity session might be exactly what you need. In one focused hour with me, we'll look at what's working, what's not, where you're overcomplicating things, and create a visibility plan that works for your real life. Sometimes one conversation is all it takes to unlock the clarity and confidence that you need to move forward. You'll find the details in the show notes. And remember, you get to do this your way. I'll see you next week.